Two balls and a strike to count on Taylor. Reyes fires, swinging a drive, deep left field. This is way back. Welcome on, Chris Taylor.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com, part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. My name is Jeff Spiegel, joined today by Matt Moreno. We've got a little bit of movement on the Dodgers coaching staff, and no, Dave Roberts is not going anywhere, if that's what you're hoping I was about to say. But for a group that Andrew Friedman said they were expecting to maintain throughout this upcoming 2023 season, there was a little bit of movement. Dodgers co-hitting coach Brant Brown, hired away by the Marlins to become their hitting coach. Craig Mish of MLB Network was the one to report this. Matt Brown has been with the Dodgers for 3 years as sort of the co-hitting coach, has been with the organizations since 2017. Is this a big deal or is this no deal?
I don't necessarily think it's a huge deal. The Dodgers have basically three hitting coaches for the past couple of, at least 2 seasons, maybe even 3, with Robert Van Scoyoc, Brant Brown, and Aaron Bates. And, we've discussed, I've raised the issue of, hey, like, has that been maybe a detriment in some cases? Like, I don't necessarily know. And I mean, it's not to, again, deflect blame from the players, kind of getting into the postseason and going cold, basically.
Yeah.
But, I think now we'll kind of see, maybe what fewer voices in the room might mean. And it's not to, belittle Brant Brown's contributions at all. I'm sure he definitely was a valued member of the organization, but, maybe streamlining things, if you will, may help. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say definitely will, but it's interesting to see, because I don't necessarily think the Dodgers will kind of fill that position. I think basically Aaron Bates will sort of maybe just get elevated and they'll go with kind of the 2 hitting coaches.
Yeah, I'll say 2 things that probably sound somewhat contradictory. One is that I don't think the Dodgers will miss Brant Brown, but I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form, because I agree with the narrative that you're not suggesting, but which we've heard on our show, which is that the Dodgers need a complete overhaul at the hitting coach position. What I think is that the Dodgers have a philosophy about how they hit, and it's less important who is saying those things, and it's more important that the philosophy isn't going to change, which I would say is good news, because I've never understood the maligning of Dodgers hitting coaches. The Dodgers last season were first in runs per game in all of Major League Baseball. The gap that they had over the second place team was as big as the gap between the second place team and the 7th place team. They were by far the best offensive team in baseball. They were first in on-base percentage. They were tied for first in slugging percentage. They were 5th in home runs. Any way you look at it, the Dodgers were an offensive juggernaut in the regular season. Now, if somebody's going to look at a small sample size of like 3 games in the playoffs and tell me that these guys suck at their jobs and that we need new hitting coaches, I'm just personally not going to buy it. I know we will have people in the comments. You and I can agree to disagree on that one. But I'm saying 2 things. One is Brant Brown's going to leave. Robert Van Scoyoc is still there. Bates is still there. It's going to be the same deal for Dodgers hitters. On the flip side, I don't view this as, oh, thank goodness, let's get like some fresh ideas in, because that's the problem. That's the reason the Dodgers didn't win the World Series.
That's definitely fair. I mean, I will say, like, I did, somebody like, I believe his name is Kevin Long, the Phillies hitting coach. Like, part of me wondered if that's somebody like the Dodgers maybe should have gone after. He ended up signing, I think, I'm pretty sure, a contract extension. So then, and that was when I kind of thought it was like, oh, maybe if he was available type thing. But I do agree. I mean, there doesn't need to be an overhaul. Like, the Dodgers have been hurt by, going cold at basically the wrong time. And would a new hitting coach or hitting coaches change that? Probably not, right? Like, It's still kind of the players. And like you said, it's the Dodgers, I think, are committed across the board with the hitting philosophy. They believe in what they believe in their approach and, kind of roster building. They believe in that process. And for better or worse, it has won them a World Series so far. They've been very good every other year. And so, it's just a matter of, getting as many bites at the apple as you can.
Yeah, and I think there's a bigger debate here that I'm not qualified to have about what impact a hitting coach actually has at the major league level. Like, is Mookie Betts really going to Robert Van Scoyoc and saying, like, hey, can you help me learn to hit baseballs a little bit better? Is Freddie Freeman, like, are those types of guys going to them? Like, I think you've seen the stories of Justin Turner and Max Muncy and Chris Taylor, guys whose careers were headed in the wrong direction, sort of getting to a point of rock bottom and saying, hey, I need to change some things up. And the Van Scoyocs of the world have been there to rebuild their swings. Like, I think those guys can have an impact on some of the middle tier to lower tier players at the major league level, but also within the organization. I just don't think that like Freddie Freeman being unable to hit with runners in scoring position is because Brant Brown like was bad in the batting cages with him earlier, like, and again, maybe I'm way off on the level of impact these guys have. Like, you could look at a Cody Bellinger. My sense is that Cody Bellinger wasn't listening to anyone. That's me reading between the lines on quotes. I don't think the hitting coaches broke or failed to fix Cody Bellinger. The quotes were always kind of like, hey, we're here whenever he wants some help, which to me was like, he's not asking for it. And so, anyways, again, the headline here, Craig Mish of MLB Network reporting, Brant Brown, co-hitting coach for the Dodgers, has been hired away by the Marlins. I'm going with no deal. It sounds like you're going with no deal as well on this one. Again, I'm sure there will be lively thoughts in the comments below. Matt, we think this is the last movement on the Dodgers coaching staff, though, so for this offseason?
I think so. I going into the early stages of the offseason, I would have picked Clayton McCullough as the most likely to be kind of poached away just because he's been up now. It was the second year where he was up for managerial openings, it seemed like. And once he ended up staying, I thought, okay, like the Dodgers wound up keeping their same staff. And so, now Brant Brown is off to a new job. Congratulations to him. It is a promotion. He now gets to be kind of, the head guy with the Marlins. And again, my expectation is Aaron Bates probably just gets elevated to fill that. And I guess maybe they backfill it then Bates' position of, assistant hitting coach, if you will, if they want a third person in there just from within the organization somewhere.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. Brant Brown, I wonder how many folks could actually tell you what Brant Brown looks like as the co-hitting coach. I'm just going to say, maybe Google him, then fire off your takes on whether or not this guy was good at his job. Because, co-hitting coach is not a guy most people are familiar with. But, hey, we've got opinions on everything. That's Matt. My name is Jeff. As always, thank you for joining us. Make sure you subscribe, ring the notification bell here on YouTube. Please follow us on social media at DodgerBlue1958. You can follow Matt on Twitter. Tons of good insight. This is a guy who's really plugged in at mmoreno1015. You can follow me at Jeff Spiegel as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, go Dodgers.